When we think of great heroes of the 80s and 90s, we usually think of the leaders, right? We think of those guys with the booming voices and the grand speeches, that follow me energy that Captain America and Optimus Prime have. But what happens when the most iconic hero in a franchise doesn't say a single word? What happens when the hero we look up to has had his voice, his face, and his past completely stripped away from him? Today, we're looking at G.I. Joe. Now, I'll be honest, picking a single heroic icon from this series was a massive challenge because, by design, G.I. Joe isn't about one person. It's the ultimate ensemble show. G.I. Joe is a team of specialists where everyone has a specific role to play and they work with each other. But even in an elite world of soldiers and colorful code names, one figure stands out. And it's not just because it's not because he's got the loudest voice or he's the one that's giving the orders. It's because of absolute silence. That's right, folks. We are talking about Snake Eyes, the all-time favorite G.I. Joe. Now, before we peel back the mask on this one, if you're enjoying this deep dive into these heroic icons, please do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me keep building this series and lets me look at these characters through a different lens and go on that journey with you all. So let's dig into the archaeology here. Snake Eyes isn't just a ninja with a cool suit. I mean, he is, but he's just not just that. He represents what Carl Jung called the wounded healer archetype. Now, Jung's premise was that a healer or a protector derives their greatest strength not from being perfect, but from their own wounds. If you look at Snake Eyes' story, it's a series of devastating losses. He wasn't born this way. He was a soldier who lost his entire family in a tragic accident the day he returned from war. Later, in a mission to save his teammates, he was caught in an explosion that scarred his face and destroyed his vocal cords. In Jungian psychology, when we experience a trauma that robs us of our voice, we're forced into what's called the nekia. It's the dark night of the soul. Snake Eyes didn't just get over it. He integrated that darkness. By wearing the mask and embracing the silence, he moved past the ego, that part of us that constantly needs to be seen and heard. And he's tapped into the self. He isn't a hero because he's invincible. He's a hero because he is broken, and he still chooses to be functional. He carries his hurts into the battle without needing to broadcast them. To lend some weight to this, there's actually quite a bit of research on what's called Military Stoicism. And if you look at the journals like the Journal of Military Ethics, they talk about how Stoic principles, focusing only on what you can control and maintain in your emotions, that emotional restraint, they're vital to the resilience that you show. You know, control yourself, lest you be controlled. Snake Eyes is the fictional embodiment of this. He doesn't complain about his scars. He uses his discipline to master them. There's also research into the psychology of silence, suggesting that silence can be a form of strategic participation. Think about that for just a second, would you? When you can't talk, you can't brag. You can't make excuses. You can't manipulate the narrative. You can only just be. For those of us trying to find our own heroic icon within, That's a heavy lesson. How much of your daily energy do you spend trying to convince people that you're good rather than just doing the work? There's a power in that kind of silence. It's a form of stoicism we don't see anymore. He proves that leadership isn't always about giving orders at the front. Sometimes the most heroic thing you can do is simply show up, do the work, and remain loyal to your principles, even when no one else can see that person behind the mask. In the Archaeology of Self, we find that the deepest layers of our identity aren't the things that we tell people at parties. It's the stuff we do when we're alone. It's how we act when things go wrong and we have to decide, do I crumble or do I put the mask on and keep moving forward? It's a decision we have to make every day. Heck, it's a decision we probably have to make every 10 minutes sometimes. Snake Eyes teaches us that our scars don't have to be our end, that they can be the foundation of a new kind of strength. And you don't need a voice to have a message. As always, folks, I want to thank you for joining me in this perspective. If this resonated with you, please remember to hit like and subscribe to the channel, and of course ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And also, as always, if you also want to help me out just a tiny bit more, keep the lights on, that type of thing, go out, hit that description in the comments or hit that link in the description. Wow, I can talk. Hit that link in the description for buymeacoffee.com/perspectives of Jerry. Every little bit helps me keep these videos going, lets me know that I'm doing the good thing and that you're enjoying it all. All right, folks. Till then, thank you for coming with me on these journeys. As always, I'm Jerry. This has been Perspectives of Jerry. You have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.